If you're working with Civil 3D to generate CAD information for ArcMap, it's a pretty simple process to get it prepared to go into ArcMap. So in the command line, type map export. It's going to ask you where do you want to save your information. So you need to go to your data file that you have running for this project. I did create a folder just for this. I've already gone through and run this process, but notice we're going to have to create an export for each type of data that's in the map. So I have boundaries, I have structures, my boundaries are in white, my structures are in blue, my traverse is in red, and my utilities are also in red. They're overhead utilities. So you'll give it a name. For example, if I do boundaries, I'll choose that. You need to make sure the file type is set to Esri Shapefile, and we'll hit OK. In our selection portion, we're going to pick what type of object are we trying to export. So for my boundaries, they are going to be polygon. So I'll select polygon, and you can select them manually if you want to, so you'll have to individually click, but a nice feature Civil 3D has is to do by a filter selection. So if you click layers, we can pick which specific layer we want to use, which for me is boundary. Next thing we'll need to do is go to data. We'll check create a unique ID and select some attributes that will be included in the attribute table. An easy one and a usable one that you could use for boundaries would be the area right at the top. If there's anything else you want to include, you can. I'm just going to go with area. So the last option is the options tab. We need to make sure that we get this into the right coordinate system so that it'll work properly. I guess the right format so it'll work properly in ArcMap. So we will go again, choose the proper one for me. Some of the data I'm using, my external source data that I downloaded, is in this format. So I'm going to go ahead and set everything to this NAT 83 Indiana State Plane West Zone US foot. So once that is there, if I have what I want to be polygons, which I do, my boundaries right now are just considered as polylines that are closed. If I want those turned into a polygon, I need to check this box. So at that point, I'll hit OK. I'm not going to because it'll overwrite the one I already have, and it will create a file. So just like you see, you'll need to do this export to get a shapefile for each element that you want to bring out of your drawing. I'm using roadways and the railroad from an external source, so I'm not going to export those. I'm using those from the Indiana map data download.